make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Hello and welcome everyone to the 212th episode of Make Your Day Richer. Can you believe it? I cannot actually. It is shocking to me that we are here. Let me remove this. I feel like there's a weird thing on the. Let's just remove. This is what happens when you remove there. Let's see what that does. Okay, here we go. EVMux, a great live streaming platform. If you are looking for a place to help do your live streams, look them up. It's really great. We've been using them for a little over a week, and it's very exciting. It's like you're a little TV production studio. And now I see why TV shows have crews of hundreds, because it's a lot. Okay, anyway, so in 212 episodes, let's see how many views we have accumulated, shall we? Let's take a look. That is 336,368 views of this show in 212 episodes. And we like exact numbers around here. So I appreciate all 336,368 of you. Thank you so much. And if you love this show, if you're having fun watching and meeting all of these amazing guests, please consider and do support the show at buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher. And some people are like, well, I don't live by you. I can't buy you a coffee. It's not actually buying me a coffee. It's like a donation platform. So that's an easy way to do that. Okay. What else can I tell you? What do I have to tell you? It is Throwback Thursday. I don't know if that's actually a thing in real life, if the kids are doing it anymore, but we do it around here because sometimes things pop up on my social media, or, I've been doing shows like this for a long time, so sometimes funny things pop up to me. Anyway, this that is, let's see, that is, can you even hear me? That is, you probably can't even hear me. From the pandemic, I did my show in my living room. I was in a 1-bedroom apartment, and every day, because I was interviewing people every day, I would put up and down the backdrop, up and down the curtain, set up the lights, and soon after that, I moved into like a little studio because I was sick of doing that. And now I'm lucky that I don't have to do that anymore either, that this is just set up every day. Can you imagine having to do that? I cannot. Today after the show, I get to go hang out with Pam from the Waxhaw Community Theater. I'm going to be helping them with some fundraising. I'm very excited. We've had some of their casts on the show. We've had some of their directors, and they're a new community theater in Waxhaw, North Carolina. And I'm excited to help them, hopefully, get more people in the seats and get more dollars in their bank account. So I'm going to go meet with her today, and I'm sure you'll be seeing them a lot on this show coming up. It's also National Erase Self-Negativity Day, and I think that's exactly why we randomly have our guest today. Now, I don't look that far ahead on what days that we're celebrating, but somehow our guests always align to either what's happening in my life or what's happening in the world or whatever. So Linda Bjork is here to talk all about changing our lives, and it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a really great show. If, I love to be very honest with all of you here. And I love doing this show every single day. I have so much fun meeting people, talking to you, and introducing you to people. But what I'm not good at is like outside of this. Like, I can do this all day long, but oddly enough, I used to be like a social media director for a bunch of small businesses. And then I feel like I aged out of it and I got too old, and I don't understand why we're spending seemingly 9 hours on one 30-second TikTok. And then I don't also understand why that one TikTok is getting millions of views and none of that makes sense to me. Anyway, so I'm not very good at it. So after the show, I make clips and I do that, but I'm not really on social media. So today, right before the show, I did a little behind the scenes of what it takes to put this show together this morning. So my morning routine, I guess. And so all morning I've been filming myself and I put it out on TikTok. I didn't edit it. I didn't look at it. I don't even know if there's sound. You never know. And I just threw it out there. And so part 2 is going to be after the show. And then I'm just going to continue my day because we've got a busy day today. And so if you want to know what I do during the day, mostly probably for my brother who thinks I don't do anything, you can go watch that and see what happens around here. Okay, that's it. We have a great show today. So we're going to go take a break. We're going to be right back with Linda Bjork after this. So don't go away. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. I always get so nervous it's not going to look how it's supposed to when we get back here. Today we have a guide to deep and lasting change joining us. Linda Bjork is a transformational coach, a certified NLP practitioner, and a powerful breathwork detox facilitator. Through her digital platform, Healing Breathwork Detox, and her one-on-one coaching, Linda empowers individuals to unlock their potential and create truly meaningful lives. So please welcome Linda Bjork. Hopefully she'll be in here. Let's see what happens. She's not here. She will be here. There she is. Hello, Linda. Oh, but now I can't hear you. Oh, go. There we go. Hi.
Hey, there you are. Hi,
This is
Richard.
what happens when you try to do too many things.
Oh, real life. Isn't it a thing? And that's
And I'm going to remove that. How are you on this lovely Thursday?
fantastic. And I love what you're doing, making people's day richer. And that's what I do. I make people's day richer and their lives richer and happier and more fulfilled because we have good things that are out there available for us and we got to grab them.
Well, that's exactly why you're here. And you do it in so many different ways, which I love. That, I think when people are trying to better themselves, I say this about people who are getting into art, like try different things to see what works for you. And you have a couple different, I don't know, prongs in your fork for people to be able to do that. Were you always like this? Or did you go through this to figure out that you needed this in your life as well?
Oh, what an excellent question. Yes, I am not a perfect human being. There is a saying that is your mess is your message. And so because I had to go as personal transformation so that I could become happier and more joyful and feel like, I matter and that I am worthy and deserving of the air that I breathe and the space that I take up. And having gone through that and being able to overcome things like depression and social anxiety and just all those self-limiting beliefs, it's like, I think there are other people who are struggling with this too.
How long have you been doing this?
Let's see, probably about 7 years.
Wow. What did you do? What did you do before? And also, what did you want to be when you grew up? Probably not doing breath work.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So my favorite things in the whole world are my family. That is my focus, and that's really what I love. And I graduated in math and psychology. So who'd have thought that that's what the combination would be? So I've done teaching, and I've done helped create math programs for schools to be able to increase their math scores and things like that. But now my real passion is helping people to be happy, helping people to be able to feel fulfilled, helping people to feel like there's a reason to get up in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. And, no matter what's happening in the world in general, so often in our own worlds, it's happening and we're not talking about it. And it feels like you're the only one going through things when you start to realize that everyone is probably on some sort of spectrum on the, oh crap, I don't want to get out of bed. Like it could be to the, it's cozy in the bed, to I never want to leave here ever.
Isn't that the truth? And that's one of the reasons why I do my podcast is we talk to so many experts and to people who have overcome problems. And one of the big takeaways is, wow, you too? I thought I was the only one. Yeah. And so as we listen to other people's stories, as we listen to experts, and we find out, you know what? I don't have to feel the way that I'm feeling. There is a way out. And, every journey to healing begins with hope, because if we don't think that anything is going to make any difference, then we just don't try.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that you're saying that every journey begins with hope. And where did that come from?
That came out of my head. I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world who has ever thought of that, but it is true. And I created a little acronym to go with it. And HOPE, the H, stands for hunger. The first thing we have to have in order to be able to make a change is we have to want it. And everybody wants to be happier, but hunger is different because everybody wants to have something better, but they also want to stay the same. And hunger is when you tip that scale and say, you know what? I want to be happier more than I want to stay the same. So that's the H. The O is being open. We have to be open to trying some new things. We have to be open to, maybe some new ideas and maybe even trying some different methods. And the P stands for positive expectancy. And that is, you have to be able to believe that something is going to work, because I'm not going to put in any effort if it's not going to do me any good. And so part of inspiring real hope is saying, you know what? We have methods that work. We have the science behind it. We have the experiences behind it. We want to give things that work. And the E is for empowerment. We want people to be personally empowered. Not someone else is going to fix you, because the truth is no one can fix you. No expert can fix you. The experts lead, guide, and direct you as you heal yourself. And so we want to empower people to be able to say, wow, I have more control over what is going in my life. I have more control over my responses than maybe I understood. And being able to give people the correct knowledge, and it has to be correct knowledge, and then feeling like, wow, this is going to work, so I'm going to do it. All change comes from a combination of learning and doing.
And I knew you were going to be a good guest. I could feel it from the moment that we met online. What do you say to people who, because I sometimes will suffer from this myself, of, no matter what I do, it never works. No matter that like continuous like hamster wheel of I'm trying, nothing works. So I don't have hope.
I would say, wow, been there, done that, because I felt exactly that same way. It felt like I have tried everything, nothing works. I just want to give up because it hurts. It hurts to even try. So now what I have learned is when we have the correct information, then our efforts make a bigger difference. And healing, I kind of have broken it down into 3 basic steps. The first one is we have to feel good. When I was struggling with depression, it was beyond feeling sad. It was anguish. I felt anguish, like I just make the pain stop. Yeah. And when you're in that spot, you just can't be yourself. You can't be your best self when you feel miserable. So we need to feel better. Okay, so now let's break that down. Let's talk about specifically what can we do to make ourselves feel better. Here's the magic. Our emotions are chemical. Okay? It's physiological. We can say, oh, these are mental health issues. They don't count. Guess what? Everything is physical. It is physiological. So when our chemistry is off, we don't feel good. So when we don't feel good, it affects what we do, what we say, and what we think. Now, here's the magic that I didn't know before, and that is what we do, say, and think affects our body chemistry. And that gives us a point of power. Now, out of those three, the easiest one to control is what we do. When we're struggling with depression, to just say, just be happy. Technically, actually, that would work because those feelings would make that chemistry change. But it's also impossible. So it's useless information. But there are things that we can do. And on the website, hopefully you're going to share that. I run a nonprofit because I'm passionate about helping people be happy. It's called Hope for Healing Foundation. The website is hopeforhealingfoundation.org. And I have on there a 5-minute morning routine that can help literally change the chemistry in our body to help you have a better day. And doing it once is going to help you have a better day. But if you do it every day, it can literally change the chemistry in your body so that we can feel better. First step, we got to feel better. The second step is we have to be able to increase self-love. And that is so huge. So many people feel like I'm not good enough. I don't matter. All these kinds of things that we tell ourselves. There are things that we can do to help change that mentality so that we feel better. Then the next step is, all of these things are kind of surface, but there's a reason why we do what we do. There's a reason why we feel what we feel. And there's always an underlying reason. So if we can heal and get to the root of the problem and solve that underlying issue, then most of our problems kind of fade away. So what we need to do is to become aware and to be able to let go. And that is another thing that I'm so excited about, because for the longest time, it took so long for people to be able to get to the root of the problem. I recently had a guest. We talked about her experience with psychoanalysis, which is awesome. But it took 20 years of therapy for her to be able to untangle her story and figure it out. And now we have incredible biohacks so that with a single session, we can have more progress than what used to take years of therapy. And that is thrilling because I love things that work.
Yeah, and I mean it's life changing. I think we're in such a society of hacks, of 30-second videos online where everything is so instant and overnight success, and we're so used to getting frustrated again and having no hope when it takes more than an afternoon to change our entire lives and be the best people ever.
I know. Spoiler, guess what? It's still going to take more than one afternoon.
Yeah.
I've learned from experience that healing is not like flipping on a light switch. It doesn't go from dark to light in 1 second. It's more like a sunrise where we have, from moment to moment, you might not even recognize the change, but then pretty soon it's like, oh my gosh, everything is light and beautiful and amazing. However, we can make huge strides fast, and instantaneous change is possible. But still, there's layers. And so you got to work through the layers. If you can do all layers at once, awesome. But you're pretty rare.
Also, I want to make sure that we talk about the accessibility of it and the affordability of it through your nonprofit, because that's also so important for people. So can you talk about that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. One of the things that I care about so much is, well, quite frankly, I want to heal the world. But I want healing to be accessible to everyone. I feel my heart just breaks when I have friends who say, I ran out of money. My insurance won't cover it. I can't get any more help. I'm stuck and there's nothing I can do. So on the Hope for Healing website, we have free resources. So you can take a video course on how to be able to go through these 3 steps that I talked about, how you can learn how to feel better, how you can learn how to love yourself, how you can learn how to be able to uncover and untangle your own story and to be able to let these things go. We also have very inexpensive resources. We talked about some of the biohacks, how we can do things so much faster. And I have downloadable sessions where I'm a healing breathwork detox facilitator, and I also am certified in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. So I'm going to explain quickly what those are. So breathwork there's a bunch of different kinds. The one that I do is called Healing Breathwork Detox. Excuse me. And it does some amazing things. So right now we're breathing. Everybody breathes. It's like whatever. But when you do a very specific method for a very specific amount of time, it does some incredible things to your body. One of them is it affects your brain. It puts your brain into what's called transient hypofrontality, which is also called flow state. It quiets the prefrontal cortex part, that your monkey mind that's just telling you you can't do this and whatever. It quiets that. And so you're able to think clearly, and you're able to kind of see answers to your questions, because you have all the answers inside of you. You just have to find them. And so as you get into that state, all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I know what the next step is, which is amazing. And another thing that it does is, as you're doing this special breathwork technique, it releases the body's natural DMT. And that's sometimes called the spirit molecule. And I don't know if you've ever heard of people who go through healing and they do they do mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah.
People do ayahuasca, which is not legal in the United States. So you have to go to retreat someplace else, or microdosing, which is legal in the United States. And having that, it helps your brain to be able to create new neural pathways. So if you're stuck in a loop of thinking, it helps you to be able to say, oh, actually, there's another way. Well, the cool thing is your body has this in it naturally. It is in your brain and it is in your lungs. And when you do this correct breathing technique for a certain amount of time, it helps release that. And what it can do is it can help you feel more connection. So many people struggle with loneliness and they struggle with isolation. It can help you feel connected. It can help you feel happier. And it can also help you even feel euphoria. So all of these things are just this natural. We can feel better. We can think more clearly. And then I add in with this neuro-linguistic programming, which is, it's not hypnotherapy. You're completely in control. You are completely aware. But what it does is it helps to be able to access the unconscious. And that matters. And the reason why traditional psychotherapy takes years and years and years is because we're working with our conscious mind. And when you understand the brain, our brain activity is about 5% conscious and about 95% unconscious, which includes all of the systems. Like, I don't think about my heart beating. I don't think about digesting food. It does so many things. This is also where our traumas are stored, is in the unconscious. So when we're trying to talk our way through, we're only working with about 5% of our brain. Wow. If we want deep healing, we have to access the rest of it, because that is where it's stored. And so when we can get to the source quicker, we get results faster, which is so important, because we want to heal. But I would really prefer, if possible, that it not take decades of effort.
Oh, I could talk to you all day. What is the best way that people can connect with you? Because you also do coaching, so people can connect with you that way. But where can people find you?
Excellent question. So I would say the first place to send anybody is to the nonprofit. Okay. Go to hopeforhealingfoundation.org. This will get you resources, and it also has connection with how to get me in other ways. I also have a website that is healingbreathworkdetox.com, so you can connect with me there. And then there's a Facebook group, and to be able to connect with me that way. And of course, I'm on social media. So.
Do you love social media? I was just talking about that earlier, about how difficult, this is why people have them as full-time jobs. There's so many different things. How are you navigating the social media world?
I personally do not love it. I find that social media is one of the things, and this is something, if it can be used as a tool, that is absolutely wonderful and beautiful. In fact, none of us can function without being able to be accessible by that tool. But here's my personal issue. There's so much research that shows, especially in our youth, that the high use of social media negatively affects our emotional well-being and our mental well-being. And so I have a concern with that. When we all have issues, we've talked about this, we all have underlying things. We have things we're dealing with. And there's basically two paths to try to function when we're trying to deal with things. One is coping, and another is healing. And coping usually comes in the forms of, I want to numb myself, I want to distract myself. And there are healthy coping mechanisms, but most of the coping mechanisms we use are unhealthy. They work, that's why we use them. They work to numb, they work to distract, but they do not solve the problem. And scrolling on social media is one of the most common coping mechanisms. You can be scrolling and, hours pass. And it's like, woohoo! I didn't think about a single problem I have.
Yeah.
I won.
That was great.
Yes, but your win isn't that great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, if you are, and I'm sure you are already now in love with Linda, she also has an amazing podcast because, you could listen to her all day long. It's called Linda's Corner. And you brought a clip for everyone, which I'm excited about to show. Can you kind of set up the clip so people know what they're about to see?
Sure. So this is one of my guests. Her name is Dr. Joan Peters, and she was talking about her experience with psychotherapy, which was really fun to be able to hear her trying to untangle herself. And she started a long time ago, so that was the best method, and it's still a good method, but there's faster ways. Okay. And she had a pretty normal life, you'd think. And yet she had these horrible, horrible recurring nightmares that she'd just wake up screaming and screaming that someone was trying to kill her. And it just happened always for years and years and years and years, until finally a friend said, you know what, actually this isn't normal. You probably should go get some help and figure out what's going on. And as she was untangling her story, you'd think when you have something so horrible as recurring nightmares where someone's trying to kill you, that maybe there was some repressed memory of, abuse or something. And in her story, no one hurt her. No one hurt her. Wow. The story was her father got cancer when she was born or in the womb. And so when her mother was, all she was doing was trying to take care of this husband who was dying. And her heart was broken and she was scared. And part of the treatment at that time, because they couldn't do anything else for him, was giving him morphine shots. And so as she gave him the morphine shots, and here's this little baby in a high chair nearby, and you think, of course, the baby doesn't know anything, but the baby was watching and paying attention and knew something is wrong, and it has something to do with these needles, and something bad is going to happen. And she ended up absorbing everything and thought, it's me. I am the angel of death. And someone's going to come and kill me because I deserve it. I'm bad. And all of these things. And really, it was just people dealing with their own problems. Anyway, this is a fascinating story.
All right, take a look at the clip.
From the outside, it looks like you're living a fairly normal life. And yet, you suffered from recurring nightmares for decades. Where on earth did this come from? So I think part of the beauty, the gem of your book is that many people assume that when you have something like that, when there is a mystery to be solved within us, that it is evidence of abuse, of something that really horrible was intentionally done. And that's not necessarily the case. We can be hurt and damaged by people who are really doing the very best they can to handle their own traumas and their own situations. Is it okay if we talk a little bit about your story?
First of all, your description is really accurate and well put.
Oh, so good. When does the podcast how often does it come out and what days?
Okay, so I am just posting once a week. So I know you're doing every day, which is awesome and amazing, but I also know what work goes into it. So for me, I love what I do, and I'm going to continue to love what I do. And so I want to kind of keep things within limited bounds. So yeah.
So it comes, is there a specific day that it comes out or not?
Tuesdays.
Okay, Tuesdays. Good. And it's called Linda's Corner. Perfect. What do you love most about your life right now?
Oh my gosh, I love all the things about my life.
Mm.
One of the things that I love is I love being happy, genuinely happy. There was a time in my life when I was struggling with depression, and I was pretty good at putting on the facade of trying to, put your best foot forward. And now I'm just me, and I
Yeah.
love it. So
Yeah.
it's genuine joy, and I find joy in the moments. I love to ride my bicycle. I love to spend time with my family. I love doing the podcast. I love talking to interesting people. I love helping people. I mean, there's so many good things, and a lot of them are just small and simple, and that is even better because then they're more accessible.
Genuine joy. I'm going to keep that as a word or a phrase I start to use. I love that. I can't thank you enough for being here, for building this community that you have, for helping so many people, and for being so open about your story. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, come back any time. Thank you so much. Now let's see if I can get you out of here in the right way. I don't know how to use this program yet. That is our show, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I just love you for it. On tomorrow's show, we're talking with breathing and pain specialist Dr. Amy Novotny. So stick around for that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.